good. And it's one of those books that I still remember sitting on the dock, actually reading it, going, oh my gosh, I did not see that coming. Oh my gosh, did not see that coming. Kimberly says, The Sound of Gravel. She said it's one of those books you think about long after you're done reading it. So I saw this and immediately went to my library app, put a hold on it, and it's going to only take about 2 weeks. So I will let you know more about that once I have read it. Larry says I read the book Red by Sammy Hagar a couple of years back. He's a huge Sammy Hagar fan. I love celebrity autobiographies. I have read a lot of them over the years. A lot of them I get from my cousin, Jim. Everybody knows he loves those. So he gets those for Christmas all the time and holidays and birthdays and all that kind of stuff. And then he usually allows me to read it at some point after he is done. Larry also recommends Ghost Rider by Neil Peart. So that, he says, is a must read. Linda says, I'm 3/4 of the way through The Extraordinary Life of Sam Hell and loving it. I read that book. There is a book group that I am a part of on Facebook, and there's a crazy amount of people on it, like 10,000, maybe 20,000. It's a lot of people. So it is a very active group. When I first got in this group, that book, The Extraordinary Life of Sam Hell, it is all that they talked about. And it was a very good book. I did enjoy it immensely. So I read that a while ago. Linda says that she's also listening to The Audio of Inside Out by Demi Moore, enjoying that one too. I also just finished the Demi Moore book. I know that I was telling you guys about that. And it gave me a new appreciation for her and all that she has been through, and really all that she pioneered. You know, we tend to forget the outrage that followed her first, what was the magazine? I don't even remember the magazine now, but when she posed pregnant and naked. Remember the outrage? Remember how everybody was like up in arms over it? Now it's not that big of a deal. And it wasn't long after that women stopped wearing, not all women, but, women started wearing a little bit more form-fitting maternity clothes that actually showed off the belly rather than tried to hide it. I remember when Kelly Ripa was pregnant on Live with Regis and Kelly. And I think her youngest is 13 or 14 now, so obviously this was a long time ago. But she was one of those people who wore the form-fitting shirts when she was pregnant. And she used to mention on the show that people would send her notes and letters and emails all the time about, why is she wearing shirts like that? Why isn't she wearing a big flowy shirt like you're supposed to when you're pregnant? And she was just like, because I'm pregnant. I'm not hiding the fact that I'm pregnant. This is what my belly looks like. And, if you don't like it, sorry. One of the things I kind of always liked about Kelly is she just calls her shot and sticks with it. So, yeah, Demi Moore really had pioneered a lot in a lot of different ways. She also was one of the first highest paid women in Hollywood. If you ever get a chance to read it, Inside Out, very, very good. And I have been on a wait list for the Jessica Simpson book for quite some time. I am not a huge Jessica Simpson fan, but I have heard a lot of good things about this book. And it's not that I'm not a fan of Jessica Simpson. I mean, she's certainly just not one of my favorites, but I think that she has led a very interesting life, and she's been through it. She's been through the ringer more than once. So I'm eagerly awaiting that to be available. I think that says it's going to be available in about 2 or 3 weeks. So today's blog post is create a life that you design. Create a life you don't need a vacation from. You've heard me talk about this before. Live a life that you design. That is the line that started the Hopefulist, soon to be 1 year old. That, along with the thought of creating a life you don't need a vacation from, have been fueling me for some time. I've worked to make that a reality. I'm pretty close. How about you? Are you anywhere near the life of your dreams? What are you waiting for? If this time of being shut in has shown us anything, is that we need to be happy where we are with what we've got. Where do you want to be the next time? God forbid, will never happen again. There may be a 2-month stay-at-home order. Where do you want to live? Start working it out. I know I just talked about this recently, but now that we are facing another few weeks locked in, I think it bears revisiting. So is it easy? Oh, no. Oh, no. Absolutely not. Will it take a lot of work? Will it take revamping and budgeting? Yes, it will. But what is it you really want in this life? Because you only get one. I consider it my personal obligation to help you figure out what that looks like exactly. It won't happen overnight. It takes planning. And that is only after you ask yourself the hard questions about what you really want. Sometimes that is the toughest part. But ask yourself, if something like this were to happen again and you had to spend 2 months in your home, what type of home would you like that to be? Where would it be? Who would be in it? This is a time where everything is being stripped down to the basics. Don't waste this opportunity to figure it out. As someone who spent a lot of her life unhappy, I really want to help other people find their own happiness, because I honestly feel like, and I've always hated when people said these types of things, especially when it came to losing weight. If I can do it, anyone can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. But seriously, people, if I can become happier, if I can do it, anyone can. I used to dread getting up every day. I used to feel hopeless and like things will never get better. I was always waiting for something else to happen before I thought I could be happy. Getting married, a better job, more money, a house. Once I achieved some of those things and happiness still didn't come like I thought it would, I would up it again. Okay, well, now I'm married, but once I get the house of my dreams, that's when I'll be happier. I was, in essence, always putting my happiness off for the future instead of finding joy in what I already had. There are things you can do to make this more a reality for yourself. If you haven't spent any of the last 4 weeks trying to figure out what will truly make you happy, spend some of the next 4 weeks thinking about it. What can you be doing right now while still at home to bring you closer to the life of your dreams? The one you design. The one you don't need a vacation from. Now is the time to make plans. Once your basic necessities are met, which I know for some people are really tough right now, put some thought into what you want your life to look like from here on out. If you are one of the people who are really struggling, what can you do to avoid this from happening in the future? When you're old and sitting in your recliner, surrounded by photo albums, what type of pictures do you want to see in those albums? What do you want to have accomplished? What type of person do you want to be known as? What can you start doing right now that can make that a reality? I'm going to tell you, this is when some organization really comes in handy. That is not my strong suit. I have all these ideas all the time because I'm just very creative, thinking of idea. But I lack the skills to put them into an order that makes sense, that propels me down a path to making my ideas into reality. It is something I am working on. And when I do manage to get some plans organized and in place, I feel great. I can see it. It's so much more productive, and it will get me where I want to go faster, yet I still hate sitting down and actually doing it. Man, I hate that. But you should think about the end point you are pursuing. What is the ultimate goal? Write it down. Then work backwards. What is the step that needs to be taken right before you get to the ultimate goal? And what is the step before that? This is worked out really well in Girl, Stop Apologizing by Rachel Hollis. The whole book is about goal setting, and I have found it to be really helpful. Again, virtual Rise conference taking place May 2nd. She'll whip you right into shape. She will set you on fire, and you will be raring to go. I recommend it. My ultimate wish for you is to realize that even if you were born a negative, pessimistic person like me, you can be so much happier. I know, because I've done it. Took me a long time. I don't want you to wait so long. This is why I do this. I want to help each and every person who hears this realize there is a different way. You can live your life a different way. A happier way, a better way, a more satisfactory way. But you have to be willing to do the work. Because it does take work. But it is the most fascinating work you will ever do. That I promise you. It's a Wish You Were Cocktail Friday, Thursday. I think we maybe do something a little bit different tomorrow. It is the Hopefulist birthday, as I mentioned several times now on Sunday. I think we may do a little early celebrating. I've had a request to have Joe join me. He has actually agreed. I told him people love when he's on the show. So give the people what they want. Let Joe know how much you want to hear from him. I hope you will join us for a little Good Friday, a little birthday celebration as we go off into the weekend. And meanwhile, today, make it your best day yet.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
It's our birthday. It's going to be our birthday. Tune in tomorrow for the birthday show.